I think innovation, government policy is a very important aspect, but it's not the only important part of innovation policy. What is needed is an innovation system, an innovation culture, an innovation ecosystem. So it requires not only good government policies, it requires strong universities, it requires a strong private sector, a financial system that helps facilitate it, intellectual property protection. So the government can do many things to facilitate innovation, but it's only one part of the overall system. In this globalized world right now, there's smart people everywhere. And if a country is going to be able to capitalize on science technology, they have to be close to the forefront, which means they have to train their people well, education at all levels, including advanced education. They have to know how to collaborate in fields with scientists in other countries, so they are at the forefront. So it requires a strong educational system, it requires funding from the government for research, it requires the ability of scientists to work with their colleagues in other countries. But I think that most countries right now recognize that science technology is key to economic growth in the future, and if they want to ensure good jobs for their citizens and high standards of living, they're going to have a very strong science and technology base in their country. And I think that's exactly what Columbia is trying to do right now. I've been very impressed by the policies, the plans, I would say very ambitious plans. In fact, very sophisticated vision in Columbia for trying to make it an innovative, knowledge-based economy. But even beyond the vision, also very detailed plans about how to get there. Obviously, it's something that can't be achieved instantly. It's a path to develop an innovative economy, so it's going to take years, but it's the path that Columbia is on. Again, the key elements include strong educational system at all levels, from children all the way through graduate school, funding and support for research, funding and support for students to specialize in science technology fields, then creating in the country as a whole this innovation ecosystem where all components of the country work to that one overall end and goal. Columbia is increasing its funding for research. It's strengthening its educational systems. It's looking at various areas where it has strengths in science technology combined with some of the natural resources and unique resources in Columbia, like its biodiversity. So I think the plans, although they're ambitious, I think they're realistic, and I think Columbia knows how to get there. It's going to take a few years, but I'm very optimistic about what I've heard here about Columbia's future. I think Expouniversidad is terrific. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it in the United States, where a major research university like the University of Antioquia has produced over a 10-day period young students and professors to try to talk to the citizens of Medellin about what's being done at the university, how it connects to their lives, but also explaining in words that people understand exactly what science today is all about. I think the outreach which Expo symbolizes between the university and the community and its citizens is extremely important. One of the messages that I'll take back to the United States is perhaps our university, research universities, could do a better job at communicating with its public, who really are the sponsors. They're the ones that support universities, about what they're doing and how it connects to the lives of ordinary citizens. I started out life, you might say, as a theoretical physicist. That's all I wanted to do in life. But I was always interested in the connection between science, technology, and public policy. So after being a researcher for a number of years, I got a fellowship to work for the U.S. Congress for a year, which for me was eye-opening, seeing how the political system really works. I actually came out quite optimistic. It may be a messy process of developing legislation, but I think democracies work. They really do over the long term. So I basically shifted my career from basic research into public policy of science and technology. I spent 20 years at the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, first heading the international programs and being sort of the chief operating officer, where we put together expert committees that of the scientific community that advise the government on many issues where insights from science, technology, or medical expertise is relevant. I saw it's also very important for a country to be able to rely on its scientific community for advice and input. where the government does not try to control what the scientists say, so they give their honest, apolitical, non-political, objective opinions on what the state of the art in science is. I see many countries around the world attempting to create that same relationship where governments are interested in hearing what their scientists think. Well, anyway, after 20 years there, overseeing the many studies that the Academy does, I was going to retire, and the opportunity to go to work in this job as Science and Technology Advisor to the Secretary of State appeared, and so it's led me back to my first passion, the connection of science technology around the world. My job, in part, is to not only increase the capacity of the U.S. State Department for expertise in science and technology related to foreign policy and international relations, but it's also to be a proponent of greater global engagement between American scientists and scientists in other countries. So that's one of my main purposes in coming to Columbia. There are already many collaborations that exist between Colombian scientists and American scientists. I see the potential for strengthening that collaboration and having many more. So for me, it's a great learning experience coming to see what's been accomplished in Colombia. I came many years ago as a student to Latin America for 3 months. I see the transformation that has occurred in these countries. What's happened in Medellin, which is a vibrant, livable city with a very enlightened leadership that wants to create a knowledge-based city here. So for me, it's eye-opening to come and see what's being accomplished. We can always learn from travel and seeing other places and taking the lessons back to our own experiences at home. So I'm very grateful for the experience to come to Medellin.